Good morning to all. Respected Principal Dr. Mrs. Rajmani Madam, respected Vice Principal Dr. S.D. Gothe Sir, respected Head of the Electronics Department Dr. R.V. Desai Sir, respected Head of the Physics Department Dr. Mrs. S.S. Gaunde Madam, my senior and junior colleagues and all the dear students, a very good morning to everyone assembled in this online workshop on how to prepare for JAM examination, jointly organized by Department of Physics and Electronics for students only. I, Dr. M.S. Kavle, Assistant Professor on behalf of Sangameshwar College, Department of Physics and Department of Electronics, and all of us to welcome our earlier students, Mr. Upase Yash and Mr. Shivshankar Jokare. So before beginning, I shall introduce the motive of this workshop. Mostly the students have a problem and fear that they can't qualify any national level examinations. And it was the outcome of the mentoring done by me in the last year. So we have decided to conduct a workshop on such an examination. Mr. Jokare and Mr. Upase are the best examples that if you have a strong determination, you can have everything in your hands. Mr. Jokare is pursuing his MSc degree in Department of Physics, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. And Mr. Upase is pursuing his MSc in the Department of Physics, Surathkal University, Mangalore. Both have qualified JAM examination when they were in third year. Therefore, I shall not waste more time. We can move directly to their guidance to all of us. Thank you.
Respected dignitaries and students, good morning, everyone. And thank you, sir, for your kind introduction. Thank you very much. So and thank you everyone for coming on this Sunday morning. I really appreciate this. Thank you. So as sir has introduced us, we are gathered here to introduce ourselves to the examination of JAM, which is mainly conducted for entrance to MSc, PG courses, rather I should say, MSc, integrated PhD into reputed colleges such as IITs and NITs. So JAM is nothing but joint admission test for MSc. Before I begin that, I just want to tell you that if at any point of time, if my audio is clear, if my video is stopped, please do let me know. If you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box, or you can I think you can unmute yourself and ask yourself as well. And I'll be switching between English and Marathi if you don't mind. IIT JAM is nothing but a joint admission test for MSc. It is an early window for admission to MSc integrated PhD. It is conducted usually in first or second Sunday of February every year, right? So this is conducted in online mode, where we'll be provided with setup. We'll be having a virtual calculator. No digital gadgets are allowed there. We'll be provided with pen and paper to scribble things. But that's it. This is mainly the online mode examination. So as you can see, these exams, IIT JAM is an exam conducted by various IITs at different years. This year for 2022, it is being conducted by IIT Roorkee. This exam is marked out of 100, and it is mainly divided into 3 sections. What are 3 sections? We'll look into it in further slides. Here, no physical calculator or any digital device is allowed. Only we have to use virtual calculator. We'll talk about it as well in further slides. So these are the we should know main dates of this particular 2022 JAM exam. You might have already enrolled, registered yourself for this examination. The last date was October 14th, and date of examination for this year will be February 13th. Results will be announced at March 2022. Although these are tentative dates, but throughout the history they have been following this very strictly, except obviously for 2020, 2021 because of the COVID. But these are tentative dates, and they will be followed for sure. Then we'll come to next slide. So this paper consists of 3 sections, mainly divided into A, B, and C. Section A consists of MCQ questions, multiple choice questions. There will be 30 of them. The first 10 of 10 will be of 1 marks only. The next 20 will be marked out of 2 marks. There is a negative marking here, as you can see. For 1 wrong answer, the negative marks will be deduced. The negative marks are -1 by 3. 0.33 will be deduced. And for 2 marks questions, it is -0.66. Right. So this section A consists of negative marks. Section B consists of 10 MSQ. Okay, sorry, this should be the MSQ, not MCQ. Okay, I'll leave it as it is. This is MSQ, not MCQ here. MSQ stands for multiple select questions, where more than 1 answer can be correct. It can be 2 correct, it can be 3, or all of them. Rarely, it rarely happens, but all of them can as well be correct sometimes. So for example, let's say what are the universal gates, right? So options can be NAND, NOR, and OR. So you have to mark both of correct answers like NAND and NOR, as we know. If you mark only 1 of them, you won't get marks. If you mark, let's say 3 of them, you won't get marks. You have to be very precise here. So you will be awarded 2 marks for each correct answer. There's no negative marking here. Then comes the section C, which consists of 20 NAT questions. NAT is nothing but numerical answer types. These are numerical questions. We have to solve them. As I said before, you will be given some paper and pen to scribble things. You are not allowed to take that pad notepad at home. But yeah, these are numerical answer type questions. First 10 questions will be marked for 1 marks, and next 10 questions will be marked for 2 marks for every successful attempt. Again, there is no negative marking here. So this whole sections A, B, C will be given for 3 hours. We have sufficient amount of time here. There will be 60 questions, and we'll have 3 hours. So each roughly, you can say, we can have for each question we'll have 3 minutes, right? So this is a very sufficient amount of time to solve. To understanding this paper format helps us to make a strategy of attempting this question paper. So we'll see this strategy next in further slides.
1 minute, a question from me.
Yes, sir.
See, each section is for 30 marks, 30 MCQ is there. And
Yes, sir.
shall I complete in 1 hour?
No,
And
sir.
the next day.
No, sir, there is no
section.
time restriction. You can
No
solve
time
it
restriction.
in
Anyone can solve. Somebody will solve first C. Somebody will
Yes,
solve,
sir, yes,
solve A later on.
Yes,
sir,
That's allowed, sir.
Okay.
Like for whole
Okay.
whole paper, there is 3 hours of time allotted.
Okay, no problem. Welcome,
Okay.
welcome, sir. Continue.
Okay. Okay, this I think annotation remained there, but it's fine, I guess. So yeah, this is a particular for this is the cutoff for 2020 year 2020 when we wrote the exam. So as you can see, for general it was out of 100, the cutoff was 21.70, and for other categories you can see here. So one thing you can see, the number of candidates that appear for this particular exam was around 16,000, right? So you might think out of 100, if you are getting 21, will be qualified. So this must be a hard exam, but this is not the case. I want to underline this thing. Even though out of 100, if you get 21 plus, you will be qualified, but that doesn't mean this examination is difficult one. Rather, this is a calculation for every examination. So n number of people appear for particular examination, but only 20% of the candidates will be preparing really hard for that, and like remaining 80% will be there just to take a feel out of it, right? So our competition is not really with the 16,000 people, but our competition is the 20% of the 16,000. So remember this is a general idea for every examination, be it MSc or UPSC. So our competition is only with 20% of the people who really prepare for this examination, right? So yeah, this is the cutoff for 2020, and this is the particular cutoff for 2021, the last year. As you can see, the cutoff was dropped by few marks, but yeah, it was 19 for general, 19.91, and other categories you can see here. I want to underline that even though these marks are less, that doesn't mean this exam is difficult. But yeah, we'll see what this examination really is. Okay, Shivshankar, do you want to speak on this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
आता
please go
आपण
ahead.
इथं बघितलं तर आता MP पेपर आहे ना मॅथमॅटिकल फिजिक्सचं, तर किती क्वेश्चन विचारले तर 6 क्वेश्चन विचारले होते 2021च्या पेपरला. मग आपण मेकॅनिक्स घेतलो, म्हणजे क्लासिकल मेकॅनिक्स घेतलो तर 9 क्वेश्चन विचारले होते. मग आपण चांगलं बघितलं तर ऑसिलेशन वेव्हज आणि ऑप्टिक्स वर 11 क्वेश्चन्स होते आणि सॉलिड स्टेट फिजिक्स आणि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स वर 11 होते. म्हणजे आपल्याला एक आपण स्ट्रॅटेजी घालू शकतो की कशावर जास्त फोकस करायचं आपल्याला. म्हणजे जर आपण इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सॉलिड स्टेट फिजिक्स परफेक्ट केलं तर त्यावरचे मोस्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन्स आपण सॉल्व्ह करू शकतो. तसंच कायनेटिक थिअरी, थर्मोडायनामिक्स थोडे कमी होते क्वेश्चन्स. म्हणजे कसं आता टाइम कमी असलं तर आपल्याला सगळं कव्हर करतो असं काही होणार नाही आपल्याकडून, सगळं सिलेबस कव्हर होईल. पण मोस्ट ऑफ आपण बघू शकतो किती कोणत्या सेक्शनला जास्त वेटेज आहे त्यानुसार आपण अभ्यास करू शकतो ह्याच्यात. मग आपण ह्याच्या पुढे आपण इयर वाईज वेटेज बघूया. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. Hello, Yesh. Next slide.
Yeah, this is yearly weightage.
This is
For
yearly
each
weightage.
year.
We can see that for mathematical physics, they have asked about average 7 to 8 questions, and for modern physics about 8 questions. But yet again here they have asked the 9 to 10 questions on solid state physics and electronics, and up to 9 questions for oscillations, waves and optics. तर हे बघून आपल्याला काय समजतं की कोणत्या टॉपिकवर जास्त लक्ष द्यायला पाहिजे. आपण 5 वर्षाचं बघितलं तर आपल्याला समजेल की सगळ्यात जास्त क्वेश्चन त्यावरच आहेत, मॅथमॅटिकल फिजिक्स वगैरे त्यावर, आणि ऑसिलेशन्स, वेव्स, ऑप्टिक्स ह्यावर पण आहेत क्वेश्चन सगळ्यात जास्त. म्हणजे आपण स्ट्रॅटेजी घालू शकतो कशावर जास्त भर द्यायचं वगैरे. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. आणि आता इथं आपण इंटेक म्हणजे इंटेक बघूया की कितीला घेतात IIT फर्स्ट कॅप राऊंडला. तर जनरलला असेल 400च्या आतल्यांना घेतात जनरल मध्ये IITs मध्ये, आणि EWS ना टॉप 600 ना घेतात, आणि OBC मध्ये टॉप 700. फॉर SC इट इज अबाउट 2000 अँड फॉर ST इट इज अबाउट 4800 समथिंग. म्हणजे ह्यानुसार आपल्याला समजेल की कट ऑफ आणि किती रँक किती घ्यायचं आपल्याला जर रेप्युटेटेड IITs मध्ये पाहिजे असेल तर. आणि आपण असं बघितलं तर IIT बॉम्बेला टॉप 15 जणांना घेतात फक्त, रँक 1 to रँक 15 एवढ्या जणांना घेतात जनरल मध्ये. मग त्यामुळे आपण अभ्यास जर भारी IITs मध्ये पाहिजे असेल तर आपण स्टडी तेवढा हार्ड करावं लागेल आपल्याला. ओव्हर टू यू यश.
Yeah, so as he was saying, this is a particular cutoff for IITs, and I want to add just one thing here. For NITs, this might go up to, for general, let's say it might drop to 1200, or for AWS it might go to 1500 as well. So we are just giving this cutoff not to scare you off, but just to make you understand what really we are achieving here, what we are really looking for, right? What we are really aiming here. So that's important. That's the reason why I have put this cutoff here. Okay. Okay. Now, how to form a strategy to make full out of it? Make full out of this examination. As we have seen before, there are main 7 topics. In previous slides, we have seen that we have to prepare ourselves to greater depth, theoretically as well as numerically. So first thing we have to do is we have to check our understanding of that subject, check our knowledge of the subject. We have to go a little bit to the greater depth than what we usually do during our semester examination, right? So the locally published books that are available, that won't do the job. You have to go to library, you have to search for reference books, and there are plenty of reference books available. So in our library, so there is no issue there. So we have this JAM examination mainly checks our understanding of the subject, mainly checks our knowledge of that particular subject, and at what depth we can go. That's what they are looking for. And this is not a stress exam. By stress exam, I mean, like CET, we have to write like 180 questions in, if I'm not wrong, in 2 hours, 120 minutes, something like that. But this is not a stress exam like a CET. They are not checking our how well we can do during those particular time, but they are checking our understanding of the subject. So we can really start prepare for that in a smarter way, and in shorter time this can be achieved as well. For those third year students, I want to underline this. They can even begin now. They can smartly prepare. They can take the topics that they like, they think they are comfortable with. They can begin with that topic, right? So for second year, if I'm not wrong, second year students are here as well. So what you can do is you have to give a dedicated time for JAM preparation. Maybe it can be 1 hour, as little as 1 hour. It is sufficient, right? So you don't have to give too much of time, take too much of pressure of this, because they are really checking our understanding. We have to develop that understanding here. Now, going to the next point, we have to understand the syllabus here. We have to get to know like what topics are there. And there's a general issue that students feel the syllabus will not be covered under Solapur University under our institute syllabus. But that is not the case here. Whatever you are learning in day-to-day classes, that will be the syllabus. You don't have to do anything other than that. Okay, so you have to understand this. There's no extra pressure here. What we are doing, we have to do that. We just have to do that, but at a little bit of depth, little bit of more understanding, right? So after the necessary materials, by materials I mean you can go to the library. There are plenty of reference books. I have enlisted few of my reference books in next slides. You will see. You can start preparing your own notes, but yeah, begin now. For those in the third year now, they have to really begin now. They can still do it, okay? So we have to gather these necessary materials. That can be notes as well. There are many websites on internet. You can find ready-made notes are available. I would not encourage you to just use those notes, but because you can take your own notes and prepare from that, that is very helpful. So yeah, gather these materials. Now, those who are in third year, I have to say to them, you have to really focus on the topics that you are comfortable with. You have seen the weightage of different topics like EMT, classical mechanics, they carry more weightage. You can do that, or otherwise, if you're more comfortable with electronics or solid state physics, condensed matter physics, you can really focus on that. Now, for third year students, your goal will be to qualify this examination rather than achieving 80 plus, 70 plus, this kind of marks, right? For those who are in second year, they can really start now. They can prepare as many topics as possible, and yeah, I understand them. Now go for all the topics only if you have time, right? So for third year especially, that would be a concern here. But yeah, aim for qualification, a decent marks here. You know the cutoffs, you know the rankings, so you can prepare them from now on. Now going to the next slide. Yeah, so there are a few tips here during the examination. As I said, this is a computer-based examination. You will be allowed you won't be allowed to any electronic gadgets. You will have a digital calculator that will be available on the desktop itself. Okay, you can go to IIT JAM website, get yourself familiarized with the calculator. This is a different calculator than you see, but yeah, first important point is attempt those questions that you are confident about. Don't just mark anything because they are just checking your understanding. There can be very, very basic questions. It is, as I said before, it is not extremely difficult exam like IIT JEE Advanced. That is not the level that they are looking for. But attempt those questions that you are confident about, especially in the section B, where there are multiple choice, multiple select questions, right? So attempt the questions with confidence and don't with overconfidence. Don't do that overconfidence thing. Guesses will not obviously work here because you might lose marks in section A. There are negative markings. Guesses will not work. Now we have to read the theory carefully. Again, when I mean theory, you can go through your university syllabus itself. Look for those articles in reference book. Like let's say you are studying about the potential. If you have already studied potential through whatever books you use for university, you can go through, let's say, Griffith. You can understand potential very well. Now this takes care of the theory part of it, right? Then understand the concepts. JAM, as I said before, mainly checks our understanding of the basic concept. This is not extremely difficult exam, but this takes our understanding. There are many YouTube videos that are available. You can use them if you have time, but you have to commit time, right? You have to commit time. You can go through these videos, but prefer the reference books over these videos, over any kind of other things. There are actually ready-made paid notes available. They are being available by different tuitions, but don't go don't go buy them, because preparing own notes will help you not just in the JAM but other examination or in future as well. The next point, and rather important point, is we have to increase our mathematical skill. Main mathematics that are required are differential and integration within the limits. Like mainly we use the Cartesian coordinates to do the integration here, but there will be a question where you have to do integration in spherical, polar, or in cylindrical coordinates. So we actually studied this. Okay, this is a part of our syllabus. We have studied this general coordinate system in our physics syllabus. So go through that and make yourself comfortable with. Knowing the limits is also a thing. Like you have to build the mathematical skill here in all. So we have to practice the numerical. What you can do, you can go through previous year questions, gather the material, or just go one by one. Solving just locally published books and solving numericals from them won't do the necessary job here. But yeah, you have to go beyond comfort zone, and it is really worth it. I will mention it why it is really worth in the next slides. So my suggestion would be, you have to do many things, but you have to do things consistently. You can solve like 5 to 10 questions daily from now on, especially for TY students. For SY, you can maybe start with a less number of questions, but yeah, you have to maintain that consistency and increase your understanding there. Okay, coming to the next slide. Yeah, so there are few must things that you have to do. You have to prepare your notes. Notes really do matter. Don't lose those notes as well, because they will be useful in future as well. So prepare proper notes. And the second important thing is prepare the timetable of study. By that, what I mean is, usually we spend like a couple of hours doing some social media, watching YouTube. We don't even get to know, like आपल्याला कळत नाही की आपण किती वेळ त्यावर घालवतो. पण I just want to say this in Marathi, just for the closure. टाइम टेबल बनवणं हे फार एक महत्वाचं आहे. मी असं अजिबात म्हणत नाही की तुम्ही सगळं काही बंद करून फोन तुम्हाला आता अभ्यासाला बसायचंय, पण मला एक गोष्ट सांगायची आहे की तुम्ही मे बी सुरुवात करू शकता 1 तासापासून. तुम्ही 1 तास फक्त अभ्यास करा, ते जे ड्युरेशन आहे ते पुढे वाढवत जा तुम्ही. पण टाइम टेबल असणं हे फार गरजेचं आहे. तुम्ही मे बी 7 ते 8 टाइम तुम्ही टाइम देऊ शकता, 8 ते 9 तुम्हाला जे कम्फर्टेबल वाटेल ते, पण त्या दरम्यान इतर गोष्टी करणं टाळा. त्यामुळे डेडिकेटेड टाइम द्या या गोष्टीसाठी, तुम्हाला नक्कीच सक्सेस मिळेल. आय हॅव नो डाऊट अबाउट इट. Then next thing is, we have to solve the previous question papers. Now you can freely download the previous year question papers with their solutions online. There are many websites that those who provide these question papers. You have to must go through these question papers. Why I am stressing on this? Because you will understand the level of questions that they are giving us, the level of understanding we require, level of preparation we have to do. You will understand these things. Attempt the mock test. Then after studying a few things, you have to check your understanding level, right? So you can give the mock test. Now, one mock test is available on the JAM website. Otherwise, there are many other websites that freely provide the mock test. There are paid ones as well, but you can ignore them. If possible, you can purchase them. Otherwise, that won't matter too much. But attempt this mock test. Then prepare for formulas well. Sometimes what will happen in third part, the section C of NAT, numerical answer type, that you will require some formulas for it. So you have to prepare formulas as well. At least you should know the where the particular speed of light comes, whether in denominator or numerator. You will do fine. You just don't have to by heart all the formulas, but you should know what the formulas say. So that's one thing. Again, in NAT questions, section 3 questions, there are derivations. Let's say they will provide you a circuit and ask you to find out the current out of it. You can simply begin with KCL, KVL, or other electronic concepts. You can start with that, and you can reach to that question. There's a very important point I forgot to mention. In numerical answer type question, we'll have obviously a number as answer. We have to type that number, but what they ask for is particular number of significant digits. So let's say our answer is particular for 1.38 ampere, right? So, but what they ask is write up to the 2-digit places. So what we have to do, we have to round figure it. We should know that. You should remember that. Okay. So don't just select first 3 digits and write them there, but you have to we have to round figure them and write the answer. This is a very important question, a very important part of third section, the last section. Now these are the as I said, must things. Coming to the next slide. So yeah, as I said, there are a few reference books. These are just reference books that I have gathered during last few minutes. But there are many other as well, and most of them are available in our library. Okay, so for mathematical physics, I think H.K. Das is available. I have seen that. For mechanics and general properties of matter, there is S.C. Verma. Obviously, there are I think couple of copies of them in the library. You can go through them. For oscillations, obviously, Ajoy Ghatak is a popular book. You can go through them. Again, this Ajoy Ghatak books is available in the library. For electricity magnetism, obviously, David Griffith's book is presumed to be very standard book. Again, there are multiple copies of these books are available in the Samgeshwar library. We are really lucky in that area. We should really cherish that. For kinetic theory, again, these kinetic theory, modern physics, solid state physics, these are particular reference books. There are other books as well. There are good books. You can go through them. There is no particular book that you have to read so as to qualify the JAM, but these are general things. But most of these books I know are available in our Samgeshwar library. So visit the library, home issue those books and read them. Especially second year students, you can go through them. You can develop your understanding of the subject. Now, what are the benefits of JAM actually? So it appears that it takes a lot of it to do all the work, but it is not really the case. Okay, you just have to do little things consistently to qualify JAM with good marks. मी तर मराठीमध्ये बोलेन कारण की मला गोष्टी ह्या सांगायच्या आहेत, बेनिफिट्स दिले आहेत काय. मी माझंच उदाहरण देईन, आमच्या दोघांचंच उदाहरण देईन की आम्ही देखील आम्हाला माहिती होतं की JAM ही परीक्षा काय आहे, कशासाठी असते, पण आम्ही सुरुवात केली ती सेकंड इयरच्या मध्ये, ऑलमोस्ट थर्ड इयर स्टार्ट झालं होतं त्या दरम्यान. आणि मला ही एक गोष्ट सांगायची आहे की बरेच माझे बॅचमेट्स आहेत ज्यांनी जे दिल्लीला गेले आहेत, जे कोट्याला गेले आहेत फक्त तयारीसाठी, आणि तेही एक अटेम्प्ट आणि मग ते इथे पोहोचलेले आहेत. मला एक गोष्ट इथे सांगायची आहे की जरुरी नाही की ते क्लासेस लावले तरच तुम्ही क्वालिफाय व्हाल. माझं आता MSc 1 ला इमिडिएट ज्युनियर बॅच मध्ये एक विद्यार्थी आहे जो आहे चंद्रपूरहून. त्याने देखील स्वतःहून तयारी केली होती, त्याच्याकडे देखील असे रिसोर्सेस नव्हते. त्याने देखील सर्च केलं, या सगळ्या गोष्टी जमवल्या, अँड विथ कन्सिस्टन्सी नाव ही इज इन NIT. देर आर मेनी एक्झाम्पल्स ज्यांनी स्वतःहून तयारी केलेली आहे आणि ते स्वतःच्या बळावर इथपर्यंत पोहोचलेले आहेत. लायब्ररी समगेश्वरची भरपूर चांगली आहे, त्याचा फायदा घ्या. प्रॅक्टिस करा आणि कन्सिस्टन्सी ठेवा. तुम्ही नक्कीच NIT किंवा IIT IISc मध्ये देखील जाऊ शकता, मला अजिबात शंका नाही. कन्सिस्टन्सी असेल तर सर्व शक्य देखील आहे. अशा इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये जाण्याचे फायदे आहेत की तुम्हाला एक रिसर्च एक्सपोजर मिळतं मोठ्या प्रमाणावर. मी माझंच उदाहरण देईन पुन्हा एकदा. मी आता MSc थिसिसच्या अंडर नेव्हियर स्टोक्स इक्वेशनवर काम करत आहे. मे बी बऱ्याच जणांनी ते ऐकलं असेल, जे की मला माहिती नव्हतं, पण मला माहिती नव्हतं याचा फरकही पडला नाही. ठीक आहे, बऱ्याच जणांना वाटेल ह्या गोष्टी आम्हाला माहिती नाही, त्यामुळं आम्ही कसं या गोष्टीमध्ये सर्व्हाइव्ह करू. अजिबात नाही. तुम्ही या अशा इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये याल तर तुम्हाला ते एक्सपोजर मिळेल, तुम्ही त्यावर आणखी वाचू शकता आणि तुम्हाला एक इंटरेस्ट वाटला तर तुम्ही त्याच विषयात काम देखील करू शकता. त्यामुळे अजिबात कमी समजून घेण्याची तर काही गरज नाहीये. दर बऱ्याच इन्स्टिट्यूट्समध्ये IIT सारख्या दर आठवड्याला इन्व्हायटेड टॉक्स असतात. बरेच चांगले चांगले प्रोफेसर येतात, तुम्ही अटेंड करू शकता. आणि हे जे एक्सपोजर आहे तुम्हाला फार मोठ्या प्रमाणावर फायदा मिळवून देतं. जरुरी नाही की एखादा अमुक प्रोफेसर आलेला आहे आणि तुम्हाला 100% गोष्टी कळायला पाहिजे इन्व्हायटेड टॉक मध्ये, जरुरी नाही. पण तुम्हाला कळेल की सध्या आपण काय करत आहोत आणि आपल्याला कुठं जायचं आहे, आपला इंटरेस्ट कसा आहे, आपण त्यानुसार डेव्हलप करू शकतो स्वतःला. ह्या गोष्टी ह्या मेन इन्स्टिट्यूट्समध्ये मोठ्या प्रमाणावर होतात, रिलेटिव्हली मोठ्या प्रमाणावर होतात. तिसरा फायदा हा आहे की MSc नंतर देखील प्लेसमेंट्स इथे अवेलेबल असतात. मी कालचीच गोष्ट सांगेल, कालच आमच्या इथे बँगलोरची एक स्टार्टअप कंपनी आली होती ॲस्ट्रॉम नावाची, जी 5G नेटवर्कमध्ये काम करते, 5G चे इक्विपमेंट्स बिल्ड करते, जी एक स्टार्टअप आहे आणि चांगली स्टार्टअप आहे. अशा कंपन्या ह्या प्लेसमेंटसाठी रेप्युटेड कॉलेजेसमध्ये IIT NIT मध्ये येत असतात. त्यामुळं मी हा एक फार मोठा फायदा आहे. बऱ्याच वेळेस अडचण होती की MSc करून पुढे काय, हा देखील एक प्रश्न असतो. त्यामुळं स्पेशली जॉबसाठी तो फार मोठ्या प्रमाणावर इथे येणार नाही, रिलेटिव्हली इथे तो प्रश्न येणार नाही. त्यामुळे मला हे सांगायचं की तुम्ही जी काही मेहनत घ्याल त्याचा खरेच फायदे तुम्हाला पुढे बघायला मिळतील. इट विल बी really worth it to do the job consistently. You just have to give like an hour of it, your 1 hour of your daily life, okay, and that you can do. I'm sure you can do that. You are not all too much busy, but you can all do it with consistency, with determination. Now coming to the next slide, what are the options after MSc, right? So obviously you can go to PhD, you can become a professor, acquire a government job. Government job means obviously there are bank sectors as well, but for MSc people, especially if you are interested in science, to pursue the science even after MSc, you can go to BEL, then ISRO, there are TIFR, there are many such institutes where you can join after MSc. So there's that's a good thing. You can continue your science after even MSc. Then there are many private sector jobs as well. Obviously, at such institutes, many private players come to hire us. There are many new, as I said before, new companies that are building up. They are asking for MSc students. Yeah, so there are private sector jobs as well. And obviously, you can become a good researcher at good institutes after doing MSc. You will be require PhD, but yeah, that's a career path for you. And there are many other paths as well, but yeah, these are main broad paths that I could come out with. Now, yeah, I think this is the formal end of our discussion. But if you have any queries, any questions, you can feel free to approach here. You can approach on this particular mail IDs, and obviously, if you want to contact us through mobile phone, the numbers are available at the department. You can ask them. We will be really, both of us will be glad to discuss with you if there are any issues. It would be our pleasure to actually host you, like to help you there. But yeah, I just want to say here again की आपण कशातही कमी नाही आहोत. आपण तुम्हाला वाटतं सोलापूर सारख्या ठिकाणी फार कमी रिसोर्सेस आहेत, पण असं अजिबात नाहीये. तो कमीपणा तुम्हाला कुठेही जाणवणार नाही. आणि मोजके विद्यार्थी माझ्या इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये आहेत जे एंटायर महाराष्ट्रातून आलेले आहेत. MSc 2 चं बोलायचं झालं तर मी एकटाच आहे विद्यार्थी. MSc 1 चं झालं तर पुन्हा मी एकटाच आहे. याचा अर्थ हा नाही की ह्या परीक्षा अवघड आहेत, पण आपण जर स्ट्रॅटेजी केली, आपण एक चांगल्या मार्गाने त्याच्या तयारीला लागलो, योग्य वेळेवर तयारीला लागलो तर हे शक्य आहे आणि चांगल्या मार्काने तुम्ही आणखी चांगल्या इन्स्टिट्यूट मध्ये जाऊ शकता. त्यामुळे जर कोणतीही शंका असेल तुम्ही अप्रोच करू शकता. येस, आणि सगळ्यांना परीक्षेसाठी बेस्ट ऑफ लक. आणि जर आता सध्या काही क्वेश्चन्स असतील तुम्हाला विचारायचे तर जरूर तुम्ही विचारू शकता. थँक्यू.
Thank you, Pase, and thank you, Shivshankar.
My question is that I am audible.
Yes,
येस
sir.
सर.
येस सर.
Upase, on the Shivshankar, you have studied BSc 1, 2, 3 in physics and electronics, and you have seen the syllabus of all the subject.
Yes.
It is sufficient, or we want to update that syllabus?
Yeah, to certain extent, actually to most of the instant, it is pretty much covered, sir. Everything is covered. We don't have to do like concepts out of our syllabus, but it is sufficient. There are few bits and pieces here and there that can be added to our syllabus. But yeah, for qualifying this exam with good marks, the syllabus is sufficient. There are few articles that are not in our university syllabus, but I guess we can introduce them as well.
Okay, so just you can inform us which syllabus you want to introduce for BSc 3 and BSc 2. We can introduce it. Okay, welcome, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will
Thank
do
you,
that.
sir. Thank you, sir. Dear students, you are instructed that if you have any questions, you can ask. You can unmute yourself and you can ask. आताच वेळ आहे, तुम्हाला जर डाउट्स काय असेल तर तुम्ही विचारू शकता, कारण वेळ निघून गेली की पुन्हा मग तुम्हाला खूप म्हणजे पुढची वेळ येईल, म्हणजे नेक्स्ट इयरला तुम्ही एक्झाम देऊ शकता. 1 वर्ष तुमचं विनाकारण वाया जाईल. आता ही अपॉर्च्युनिटी जी आलेली आहे, हे 2 विद्यार्थी आपले क्वालिफाय झालेले आहेत जाम एक्झामिनेशन, आणि त्यामुळे त्यांनी हे आपल्याच कॉलेजचे विद्यार्थी, तुमच्या आधीच 1-2 वर्ष ते बीएससी झालेले आहेत. त्याच्यामुळे आपल्या विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये एक प्रकारचे अनोमली असते, म्हणजे न्यूनगंड ज्याला आपण म्हणतो की मी हे करू शकत नाही, हे जे काय आपल्या विद्यार्थ्यांच्या मनात असतं ते आपल्याला आतापासूनच बाजूला सारायचंय, आणि आपण आपले विद्यार्थी सुद्धा नॅशनल लेवलला जाऊ शकतात. तर त्याच्यासाठी जो काही पाथ आहे तो दाखवायचं काम हे 2 विद्यार्थी आणि आम्ही सगळे टीचर्स मिळून करत आहोत. तर त्याचा बेनिफिट घ्या, आणि तुमचे कुठले का क्वेश्चन्स असतील, साधे सुद्धा क्वेश्चन पण खूप महत्त्वाचे असतात, ते तुम्ही आता विचारू शकता.
Prajakta, Revati, Yogesh,
Hello, sir.
Siddesh, all of you have to write the JAM exam. If you have any doubt, you please ask to your seniors.
येस सिद्धेश.
सर, मला एक क्वेश्चन होता. सर, म्हणजे आपण जॅम एक्झाम क्वालिफाय झाल्यानंतर आपल्याला ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्सची ब्रांच मिळू शकेल का?
हो,
ते NITs वर डिपेंड आहे, म्हणजे आपण कुठं तिथं अवेलेबल असेल ना NIT किंवा IIT, तिथं मग मिळेल.
मी माझं स्वतःचं एक उदाहरण देईल. इथे NIT मध्ये आणि युजली IITs मध्ये, IIT मध्ये पर्टिक्युलर डेडिकेटेड ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्सचे कोर्सेस आहेत. MSc तुम्हाला पर्टिक्युलर फक्त ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्स मध्ये करायचे आहे, तर काही मला वाटतं IIT पटना एक अवेलेबल आहे, IIT मे बी मुंबई एक अवेलेबल आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये पर्टिक्युलरली पूर्ण वेळ आपण ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्स करू शकतो, आणि बऱ्याच ठिकाणी ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्स हे इंटिग्रेटेड PhDचा पण भाग आहे, म्हणजे 5 वर्ष 2 MSc आणि 3 PhDचे रफली असे धरून अशा ठिकाणी देखील ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्सचे कोर्स डायरेक्टली करता येतात. अदरवाईज माझ्या इन्स्टिट्यूटचं मी उदाहरण देईन. इथे बरेच विद्यार्थी ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्स, कॉस्मॉलॉजी, ग्रॅव्हिटेशन मध्ये इंटरेस्टेड आहेत. ते काय सध्या करत आहेत, ते जनरल आपल्या रेग्युलर कोर्सेस तर करतच आहेत, पण ऍज अ पार्ट ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट वर्क ते आता कॉस्मॉलॉजी वर अभ्यास करतायत, ते ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्स, ग्रॅव्हिटेशन वर अभ्यास करतायत, काही जण आहेत जे ब्लॅक होल वर करतायत. तर ह्या 6 महिन्यामध्ये तुम्ही ज्या विषयात इंटरेस्टेड आहात त्या विषयात प्रोजेक्ट करू शकता. आणि आधी म्हटल्याप्रमाणे डेडिकेटेड कोर्सेस पण आहेत, काही अवेलेबल देखील आहेत. जॅमचे जे ब्रोशर आहे त्या ब्रोशर मध्ये कोणत्या इन्स्टिट्यूटमध्ये कोणते कोर्सेस दिलेले आहेत, कोणते अवेलेबल कोर्सेस आहेत त्याची लिस्ट पूर्ण दिलेली आहे. मे बी तुम्ही ते चेक करू शकता.
ओके सर, थँक्यू.
मला वाटतं शिवशंकर,
येस सर.
न्यू कॉलेज कोल्हापूरमध्ये BSc स्पेशलायझेशन विथ ॲस्ट्रोफिजिक्स आहे असं मी काहीतरी
हो
ऐकलंय.
सर, हो ऐकलो सर मी पण, म्हणजे तिथं
हा
आहे
बीएससी ऍस्ट्रोफिजिक्सच
BSc
आहे.
लाच ऍस्ट्रोफिजिक्स स्पेशलायझेशन.
बीएससी लाच ऍस्ट्रोफिजिक्स आहे, हा स्पेशलायझेशन आहे.
हो सर.
बीएससी फिजिक्स कसं आपण बीएससी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, त्याचप्रमाणे बीएससी ऍस्ट्रोफिजिक्सच आहे
हो
स्पेशलायझेशन.
सर, हो सर.
Third year ला ते
माझ्यासोबत
सिलेक्ट
आहेत
करू
सर
शकतो.
मित्र वगैरे ऍस्ट्रोफिजिक्स त्यांचं स्पेशलायझेशन.
येस करेक्ट.
हो सर, आणखीन एक थोडीशी माहिती मी इथे ऍड करतो. आता जो विद्यार्थी होता सिद्धेश, त्याला जे काही ऍस्ट्रोफिजिक्स मध्ये त्याला PhD करायची वगैरे म्हणतोय, तो इंटरेस्ट आहे असं म्हणतोय. सपोज तुला जाम थ्रू जर एखाद्या चांगल्या इन्स्टिट्यूट मध्ये जर ऍडमिशन मिळाली तर तिथे पण तू जाऊ शकतो. समजा त्याच्या ऐवजी जर तू MSc नंतर किंवा MSc च्या थर्ड सेमिस्टर पासून म्हणजे सेकंड इयर पासून तू जर नॅशनल लेवलची जी ज्युनियर रिसर्च फेलोशिप आहे, ज्याला नेट एक्झामिनेशन वगैरे म्हणतात, तर त्या नेट एक्झामिनेशन मध्ये तू जर ज्युनियर रिसर्च फेलोशिप मिळवली, त्याचा कट ऑफ खूप हाय असतो. तर ती JRF जर तू मिळवली तर त्या JRF थ्रू तू PRL आहे अहमदाबादला, म्हणजे फिजिक्स रिसर्च लॅबोरेटरी अहमदाबाद, आणि PRL न्यू दिल्ली, तर त्या दोन्ही ठिकाणी तू जाऊ शकतो. JRF चा बेनिफिट असा आहे की तुला 4.5 वर्ष फेलोशिप मिळते, विथ फेलोशिप PhD होती, आणि त्या JRF थ्रू तुला ज्या फील्ड मध्ये रिसर्च करायचं आहे ते फील्ड तू सिलेक्ट करू शकतो. हा त्याचा बेनिफिट आहे. त्यामुळे त्या JRF चा स्टडी करून तू जाऊ शकतोस तिथे. आणि परवाच मी एक माहिती मला अशी मिळाली अगदी 3-4 दिवसाखाली, की आपल्या दिल्ली IIT दिल्लीमध्ये जो काही CERN लॅबोरेटरी आहे, तिथे जो काही ब्लॅक होल बद्दल आणि गॉड पार्टिकल बद्दल जो काही रिसर्च चालू आहे, तर त्याच्यामध्ये कॉन्ट्रीब्युट करणारे एक प्रोफेसर आहेत तिथे. तर त्यामुळे तू IIT दिल्ली किंवा PRL अहमदाबादकडे ट्राय केलास म्हणजे बेसिकली तुला हा जो काही आपला सिलेबस आहे त्या सगळ्याचा विचार करून तू प्रॉपर स्टडी करून तू जर JRF ज्युनियर रिसर्च फेलोशिप साठी जर तू प्रयत्न केलेस तर तू शुअरली ऍस्ट्रोफिजिसिस्ट म्हणून तिकडे जाऊ शकतोस.
आणि
आकांक्षा?
शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये पण. येस मॅम, कंटिन्यू.
हा
Sir, I have doubt.
Okay, you ask.
What are the pros and cons of integrated PhD?
Yeah, okay. So first and foremost, if you for sure know what you will be doing for your life, if you know the career path, like
I
if
have
you
interested
really-
in professor to be professor in teaching field.
Yeah, so yeah, good to know that. But yeah, if you know what you're really interested in, let's say for example you're interested in climate physics. If you know that by when you are in BSc, when you have completed your BSc, you wrote the JAM exam, you qualified for integrated PhD, go for integrated PhD only if you know that you are really interested in climate physics. Let's say for example, what will happen is you will have 5 years ahead of you and you will be doing the only physics. You can't am I audible?
yes you are audible.
Yeah, so go for integrated PhD only if you know what you are really interested in. Let's say during 5 years of integrated PhD, you complete your 2 years and you go for further studies. But if you think you are no longer interested in now that subject, you can't really change that. Okay, so that's a con of integrated PhD. But yeah, benefit is very only reputed colleges offer this. So like ICERs offer this, IITs offer this. Yeah, so only con is you can't really change your subject. You have to continue with that subject as well. But in regular MSc, what you can do is you can explore different subjects in that 2 years and go for PhD in what you're really interested in. I hope I have improved some understanding of it.
Yes, in addition, yes.
I want to just give an example of it. My friend's friend was in ICER Mohali. He enrolled in integrated PhD course. He completed 3 years of it, but then he thought like he's no longer interested in it. He dropped out of the course. He just got MSc degree out of it, but no integrated PhD. So if you are really interested in particular topic and you know it that I'll be working for 5 years in this particular topic, then only go for integrated PhD.
In addition to the Upase's comments, I want to inform our dear students that not only the integrated PhD, even we have integrated BSc and MSc courses also in IITs and NITs, also in many central universities. What you need to do is you have to decide your career initially. What happens, as just now Upase gave some example of his friend, it happens because when we move on year to year, nowadays, as you know, because of modernization and new innovations and all, the time is moving very fast. And after 6 months, we don't know where we stand and in which subject we are going to have the scope, isn't it? So you have to be very much determined when you are going to decide your career. Then only go for any integrated courses. Even after the 12th standard also, you have BSc, MSc integrated courses. And if you don't want that, complete your degree in basic science and all, and you can go for integrated MSc and PhD courses. There are many opportunities. Only the thing is you have to go through with the brochures. Nowadays, as you know, everything is going on online. So you can get all the brochures of all the different IITs, NITs, different state universities also. Go through with the programs, what they have displayed in the websites. Also, if you don't get any information from particular university, online we have the email IDs, also the contact numbers. Okay, so go through that and you can opt for your selected career programs. Okay, so one more thing, Shivshankar and Upase, I want to ask how these JAM scores are effective in getting admission in IISc Bangalore. Have you checked out about it?
Yeah, so the process for IISc is little different. They are the mark accepting institutes. They are not directly admitting institutes. So they consider JAM marks, and usually what happens is they actually invite students who have ranking less than 50. So if you have ranking less than 50, they will invite you. They will conduct the interview there, and if you qualify in that interview as well, then only you will be admitting. You will get the admission into the course.
For cutoff in IISc, they have their own procedure for selecting the students, isn't it?
Yes.
But
yes.
they do consider the JAM scores, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. Any more questions for our, from our
Addition with the Dr. Maitre Madam,
yes,
I can add integrated courses for PhD and MSc is added, I think, in the NEP 2020.
Yes,
According
sir.
to NEP 2020, you can do anything. But first you have to decide what you can do in your career. That is the important. Okay.
Yes. They have to be very much determined, the student. After going half the way, if they want to change, it is means it is not so benefit for the student. It is like, okay, anyone from our students?
Akanksha,
Yes,
sir, I have
one more question.
Sir, if I don't want to join IIT and NITs and I have to join IISc Bangalore, so there is only one option for BSc students to enter there, and that is integrated PhD. Then what we have to do?
Okay, if I understand it correctly, if you want to go into IISc Bangalore, can you repeat the question actually?
Sir, I checked on their website that it is the only option to enter there for from BSc to from IIT JAM exam, and there is only course for BSc students, that is integrated PhD.
Yeah, right. You are right. So they don't really offer independent MSc there, but yeah, they will consider the JAM score only for BSc students. After I think engineering, they consider GATE as well, but yeah, for us there is only JAM.
And they also look for your ranking, the JAM ranking.
Yeah,
for
ranking.
You must be under top 50 students or something.
Yes.
To get enrolled into IISc.
Yeah. So if you want to go into integrated PhD, just I want to remind you, that you will be allotted the supervisor. If there is no such process of preference, they will be giving the professor of our subject, and there is no choice of selecting the supervisor there. So yeah, and for continuing the 5-year course of PhD under an unknown supervisor, that can be a little difficult if that's what I heard. But yeah, be sure that you are be sure of your path, then only go to integrated PhD. I just want to add one more thing here. As Sir Kawal sir has said, there are many opportunities to go. There are few opportunities to go into PRL as well. I myself have done the summer internship at the PRL. So if you go into any institute for MSc, do apply for summer internships and winter internships. Okay, so that will be really helpful for your CV, for your career path. So look out for such internships and apply there. That is a really must thing now to build up the CV. Actually, you have to show that you are different from others. So look out for such internships.
Yes, any other question? I think Siddesh wants to ask one question.
Yes, sir. Sir, is there any exam other than JAM for research?
If I'm not so sure about it, whether you can write GATE after BSc, but many institutes after MSc do take students using GATE score. So it depends on which research institutes you want to join. For PhD, I'm assuming. So they consider GATE as well, but for our batch, we need to write the GATE exam only after our MSc. If I'm not so sure if they have allowed the GATE exam after BSc, but yeah, there's a GATE exam as well.
Or you can also give PATE exam.
Yeah, paid for, yes, right.
After
One more
MSc.
thing I want to add with this, the defense laboratories, DRDOs, offers scientist entrance test set examinations for the research aspirants who completes their MSc and all. Through that score, you can directly go as the scientist in defense laboratories. This is one of the most best opportunities in your life. Immediate after your PG, you are going to recognized as a scientist. So you can go through with SET-NET also, but the scientist entrance test is one of the very best opportunity if you really want to continue your career in research field, and if you are really want to become a scientist and contribute to the nation, this is one of the best opportunity.
Yeah, and just to add to that, TIFR now started conducting their own examination. I'm not so sure whether BSc students are eligible for it, but now many different institutes are conducting their independent examination. Look out for them. But yeah, TIFR is now conducting their independent examination along with GATE.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Sir, if we have completed MSc from Pune University, can we apply for ISRO after that?
Yeah,
Of course, you can
yeah, you can apply, of course, but you have to again write the GATE examination. And if ISRO is conducting any independent examination, you have to write them. So just clearing the graduation won't do the job. You have to write examination for everything nowadays. So yeah, you have to write the examination of GATE for ISRO as well.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot.
आणि मगाशी स्पेस सायन्सचं कोणतर बोलले होते ना, तर शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटीला आहे स्पेस सायन्सचं डिपार्टमेंट आणि पन्हाळाला सेपरेट स्पेस सायन्सचं सेंटर काढले त्यांनी शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटीचे. मग तुम्ही तिथं पण घेऊ शकता स्पेशलायझेशन साठी ऍस्ट्रोफिजिक्स किंवा स्पेस सायन्स.
MSc साठी सर अप्लाय करू शकतो का तिथं मग?
शिवाजीला होईल की, त्यांचं सेपरेट एंट्रन्स आहे शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटीचा. ते एंट्रन्स दिल्यावर तिथे डिपार्टमेंट आहे, सेकंड इयरला स्पेशलायझेशन घेऊ शकता.
ओके सर.
आणि येत्या काळामध्ये बरेच सॉरी इको होत आहे. या मे बी आता ठीक आहे. येत्या काळात बरेच लॅबोरेटरी स्टील इको होत आहे.
नाही तुमचे दोन्ही मोबाईल चालू आहे तुमचे त्यामुळे ते इकडे येतं.
नाही सर ओके मे बी आता स्टील नो या मे बी आता आवाज येईल. ओके नाव इट्स फाईन. येत्या काळात बरेच रिसर्च इन्स्टिट्यूट्स आहेत जे नव्याने स्थापन होणार आहेत. लायगोची एक नवीन इंडिपेंडेंट इथे संस्था स्थापन होणार आहे अलॉंग विथ पार्टनरशिप ऑब्विसली. पण बरेच सारे इन्स्टिट्यूट नव्याने उभे राहत आहेत. तुम्ही मे बी ऐकलं असेल की लडाखमध्ये नव्याने ऍस्ट्रोनॉमिकल ऑब्झर्वेटरी उभे राहत आहे. तर अशा बऱ्याच ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी येत्या काळात आपल्या समोर येणार आहेत आणि आपण एलिजिबल राहण्यासाठी आपल्याला मेहनत घ्यायची आहे आणि ती मेहनत कन्सिस्टंटली घ्यायची आहे. मी पुन्हा ते सांगते कारण की ती गोष्ट फार महत्वाची आहे. पण हा बरेच सारे ऑपॉर्च्युनिटी प्युअर सायन्सेस मध्ये येत्या काळात बघायला मिळतील. तुम्ही मे बी ऐकलं देखील असाल की क्वांटम कॉम्प्युटरवर गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडियाने ऑलमोस्ट 8,000 करोड डेडिकेट केलेले आहेत.
इन्व्हेस्ट केले. हो
येस त्यामुळं आणि अशा या फील्डमध्ये टॉप मोस्ट लोकांची कमतरता ही सध्या आहे. फार मोजकी लोक यामध्ये काम करतात, चांगल्या प्रकारे काम करतात, रिझल्ट ओरिएंटेड काम करतात. पण अशा ब्रांचेस मध्ये जर तुम्हाला इंटरेस्टेड असेल तर तुम्ही जरूर येऊ शकता. पण हा मोठ्या प्रमाणावर इन्व्हेस्टमेंट येत आहे प्युअर सायन्सेस साठी.
ओके उपासे मागे
कावळे सर तुमचे मोबाईल आणि हे दोन्ही चालू आहे त्यामुळे इको यायला लागले. एक बंद करा म्यूट करा.
बंदच आहे. मागेच्या स्लाइड होत्या ना रेफरन्स बुक्सच्या त्या पुन्हा एकदा दाखवशील का? काही विद्यार्थ्यांना स्क्रीनशॉट घ्यायचे होते त्यामुळे.
ओके हे जस्ट रेफरन्स बुक जस्ट जे आम्ही पाहिले होते ते इथे यूज केलेले घातलेले आहेत. पण ह्याशिवाय देखील बरेच सारे रेफरन्स बुक आपल्या संगमेश्वरच्याच लायब्ररीमध्ये आहेत. तुम्ही ते बघू शकता. बरेच चांगले आहेत
आणि ऑनलाईन पण मिळतील खूप सारे बुक्स तुम्हाला इथं डाउनलोड करायला जर इथे नसतील तर लायब्ररीमध्ये.
तुम्हाला योग्य साइट्स माहित असतील तर तुम्ही नक्कीच ऑनलाईन डाउनलोडही करू शकता. ही पहिली स्लाइड आहे मॅथमॅटिकल मेकॅनिक्स ऑसिलेशन आणि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मॅग्नेटिझम साठी. आणि ही दुसरी स्लाइड आहे कायनेटिक थिअरी मॉडर्न फिजिक्स. सॉलिड स्टेट साठी अर्थातच पुरी वापर किंवा किटेल पुरेसा आहे. आणि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स साठी मी एस चंद पब्लिकेशन वापरल्याचं लक्षात आहे. मला ऑथर नेमके लक्षात नाही पण ते देखील चांगलं पुस्तक आहे.
बरोबर आहे. ओके मग आणखीन काही क्वेश्चन असेल तर विचारू शकता नाहीतर आपण एंडिंग कडे जाऊया.
आणि हो आता पण जॅमचं केलं तरी होईल क्वालिफाय. तुम्ही क्वालिफाय आता पण चालू केलं तरी ते काय तेवढं हार्ड नाही. आपल्या युनिव्हर्सिटीचा सिलेबस जर रिफर केला जर परफेक्ट येत असेल तर सुद्धा जॅम क्वालिफाय व्हाल असं काय नाही. आपलं सिलेबस भारी आहे युनिव्हर्सिटीचं. आणि आता तर संगमेश्वर म्हणजे मी बैठलो माझी बहीण पण आहे त्याच कॉलेजमध्ये. मग तिचं सिलेबस खूपच ऍडव्हान्स्ड आहे म्हणजे आमच्यापेक्षा पण भारी घेतले सिलेबस. मग जर तुम्ही संगमेश्वरचा सिलेबस फॉलो केलं तर मग तर 100% all jam qualify.
So my college autonomous becoming, so we can add the new syllabus, whatever is the market. So that is hope for me. So any guideline from the student, we can add it.
Yes sir.
Upase
Yes, sir.
and Shivashankar, you can guide us. We can guide us. Anytime we can add the syllabus. That provision is there for the autonomous college, and we will welcome anytime.
I will surely get back.
Now we want to change our solid state physics syllabus. That is for TY. Every paper of TY we want to change little bit. Therefore, we need suggestions from both of you.
Yes sir.
We shall contact officially.
1 second, sir. There is a question from Prajakta Tulzapure. Prajakta, unmute yourself and you can ask the question in Marathi also.
Okay, madam. They said that we can do the private sector jobs. I can ask what types of jobs we can do in that field.
शिवशंकर उपासे.
येस, ऍक्च्युली जॉब प्रोफाईल जे आहेत फार डायव्हर्स आता झालेले आहेत. प्रायव्हेट सेक्टरमध्ये मेनली जे आता आम्हाला जे प्लेसमेंट येतात ते मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम सॉफ्टवेअर डेव्हलपमेंट किंवा वेब डेव्हलपमेंट असतात. जसं की मी कालची गोष्ट सांगितली, एक स्टार्टअप आमच्या इथे आली होती. तर प्रायव्हेट सेक्टरमध्ये जर तुम्हाला ह्या गोष्टी शोधायच्या असतील तर सिक्युअर जेणेकरून तुम्हाला प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर अशा कंपनीज मध्ये जाता येतील. अदरवाईज तुम्हाला आणखी परीक्षा द्याव्या लागतील, जे की ज्यातून तुम्ही गव्हर्नमेंट जॉब तर करू शकतातच, पण MSc करून MSc फिजिक्स त्यातल्या त्यात MSc फिजिक्स करून प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर मध्ये जॉब शोधणं हे थोडंसं अवघड होऊ शकतं. त्यामुळे मी म्हणेन की चांगलं इन्स्टिट्यूट सिक्युअर करा, ते फार मोठ्या प्रमाणात तुमची मदत होईल तिथे.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sabha Sheikh Jasmine. All TY students, third year BSc student, ask if you have any doubt. Shiraj, Aprina Sheikh, Urvashi, Supriya Vanjare, Vaibhav Survase. See, all third year students, you must try for it. Yogesh Salimat, Vivekanand Phoban, Kalyan Bhimde, Mastoor Patel, Anjali. Many of you might have not seen about these all, but today you try to go through with these details, JAM exam, what to do and how you have to proceed. And if you have any queries, you just write to the mail, note down your senior's mail and have interaction with Yash as well as Shivshankar. You can clarify your doubts. Kavle sir?
Yes, ma'am.
JAM exam कशाचे interest आहे?
रिपीट कराल का क्वेश्चन?
हे सर नेमकं कशासाठी आहे सर एक्झाम?
MS.
मेन ही जी एक्झाम आहे ती जॉईंट ऍडमिशन फॉर MSc जी कंडक्ट केली जाते IIT कडून, आणि ही ऍडमिशन टेस्ट आहे MSc कोर्स साठी किंवा इंटिग्रेटेड PhD साठी, MSc PhD साठी IIT किंवा NIT सारख्या संस्थांमध्ये. त्यामुळे आपल्याला माहिती आहे जे इंजिनिअरिंग साठी तर आहे, गेट आहे, पण MSc कोर्सेस साठी देखील जे एंट्रन्स आहे ती ही IIT JAM, जी पर्टिक्युलर इन्स्टिट्यूट जे आहेत नॅशनल इन्स्टिट्यूट्स IIT आणि NIT तिथे ऍडमिशन मिळवण्यासाठी घेतली जाते.
म्हणजे आता आपलं सोलापूर युनिव्हर्सिटीसाठी एंट्रन्स घेतं ना ऍडमिशन साठी, शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटी वगैरे ऍडमिशन साठी एंट्रन्स घेतं ना, तसं NIT IIT ते हे एंट्रन्स एक्झामिनेशन घेतात त्यांच्यासाठी.
म्हणजे सोलापूर युनिव्हर्सिटी मध्ये करायचं असेल तर हे एक्झाम दिलं नाही तरी
हो चालतंय, तुम्ही सोलापूर युनिव्हर्सिटीचं एंट्रन्स देऊ शकता.
म्हणजे हे ते मोठ्या कॉलेजला घेण्यासाठी आहे का सर?
हो IIT NITs ला ते पाहिजे असेल ना, मग तिथं म्हणजे कसं मोठ्या ह्याच्यात IITs ते कंडक्ट करतात ना एक्झाम, ते एंट्रन्स साठी वगैरे पाहिजे असेल तर तुम्हाला मोठ्या इन्स्टिट्यूट मध्ये ऍडमिशन.
थँक्यू सर.
मला पुन्हा एकदा सांगायचं की थर्ड इयरचे जे विद्यार्थी आहेत ते आता देखील करू शकतात आणि चांगले मार्क मिळवू शकतात. सुरुवात करा लगेच आणि तुम्हाला नक्कीच तुम्हाला त्याचं फळ मिळतील.
ओके, आय थिंक आता क्वेश्चन्स काही नाही आहेत विद्यार्थ्यांचे.
Sir, I have one question.
येस यू कॅन आस्क.
Sir, after finishing this exam, after clearing this exam in a good manner, can we also apply for scholarships?
स्कॉलरशिपचं काय माहित नाहीये, म्हणजे ते इन्स्टिट्यूट दिले तर देईल स्कॉलरशिप, नाहीतर स्कॉलरशिपचं काय नाही, फक्त ते ऍडमिशन साठी आहे.
Okay, thank you, sir.
म्हणजे आता इन्स्पायर ते तुम्हाला ऑलरेडी असतील किंवा एक आता शिवाजी युनिव्हर्सिटी टॉप 6 विद्यार्थ्यांना म्हणजे स्कॉलरशिप देतं. तसं जर काय ते NITs IITs वगैरे असतील तर त्यांनी पण देऊ शकतात, पण असं स्कॉलरशिपसाठी नाही एक्झाम, फक्त ऍडमिशनसाठी मोठ्या इन्स्टिट्यूट मध्ये.
ओके सर, थँक्यू.
इथे एक पॉइंट मी थोडासा ऍड करतो की ज्या विद्यार्थ्यांची BSc डिस्टिंक्शन मध्ये कम्प्लीट होते, म्हणजे मोर दॅन 75% ज्या विद्यार्थ्यांना मिळतात त्यांना एकलव्य स्कॉलरशिप मिळते गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्राकडून.
हो हो.
की तुम्हाला म्हणजे MSc जर तुमची महाराष्ट्रामध्ये होत असेल तर तुम्हाला ती स्कॉलरशिप आहे एकलव्य स्कॉलरशिप. आणि स्टेट वाईज वेगळ्या वेगळ्या स्कॉलरशिप्स आहेत, फक्त डिस्टिंक्शन क्वालिफाय झालं पाहिजे तुम्ही. आणि स्टेट वाईज वेगळ्या वेगळ्या स्कॉलरशिप्स आहेत. सपोज ती स्कॉलरशिप करत करत तुमची जर MSc झाली कुठे, तर तुम्हाला MSc च्या नंतर किंवा सेकंड इयर MSc ला असताना तुम्ही JRF देऊ शकता. ती ज्युनियर रिसर्च फेलोशिप आहे. फेलोशिप म्हणजे ऍक्च्युअली स्कॉलरशिप तो एक पार्ट आहे, पण स्कॉलरशिप कमी असते आणि फेलोशिप जी आहे ती सध्याचा जर तुम्ही विचार केला तर जवळजवळ ती 32,000 प्लस HR एवढी फेलोशिप मिळते. ज्युनियर रिसर्च फेलोशिप ती 4.5 वर्षापर्यंत मिळू शकते. आणि ड्युरिंग दॅट पिरियड तुमचा जो काही रिसर्च वर्क आहे म्हणजे तुमची PhD सुद्धा कम्प्लीट होऊ शकते.
आणि एकलव्यला वर्षाला 5,000 रुपये येतील.
हो,
स्कॉलरशिप.
स्कॉलरशिप. ठीक आहे. आणखीन काही क्वेश्चन्स नसतील विद्यार्थ्यांचे. सर, मी गोटे सरांना विनंती करतो की त्यांनी थोडस मार्गदर्शन करावं.
हॅलो सर.
Respected faculty members, today's speaker, yes, Upashe, Shivashankar, all my student. So whatever guideline is given by Upashe and Shivashankar, it is definitely helpful for the student in the future to get the admission in higher institute. Only thing is that the students must approach in proper manner, and that approach, this guidance gives helpful in the future. On behalf of Sri Sangmeshwar Education Society and the principal of the Sangmeshwar College, I thank to Upase as well as Shivashankar spend the more time to guide our student. In future, I accept same help from these persons to develop my college as autonomous. Thank you once again, Upase and Shivashankar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think Akash Mankar was there. He wants to ask some question. Akash, are you there? So, okay, no problem. He is not there.
Okay, go for a vote of thanks.
Okay,
sir.
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Professor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, respected Gote sir, Maitri madam, and today's speaker, Mr. Upase and Shivashankar. Both of you, I thank very much. On behalf of Department of Physics and Electronics, I thank our Honorable Secretary of Sri Sangmeshwar Education Society, Sri Dharmarajji Kaladi sir, for his constant support and strong motivation. Respected Principal Dr. Mrs. Rajman Madam, respected Vice Principal Dr. SD Gothe sir, respected Head of the Electronics Department Dr. RV Desai sir, respected HOD of Physics Dr. Mrs. SS Gawande Madam, for encouragement, and my senior and junior colleagues and all dear students. I thank respected Principal Madam for providing the facility to conduct this online workshop without time limit and all the necessary arrangements for all of us. Thank you one and all, and with the permission of the chair, I declare that this workshop is over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Upase. Thank you, Shivashankar. Have a good day. Yeah, have a good day. Good day.
Thank you very much.